BritBox's spitting image advert was broadcast throughout the Euros 2020 to promote their upcoming Season 2. I want to raise the question if it is satire or actual discrimination that promotes the hate, destruction and generally poor behavior that we've seen throughout the whole of the tournament. I was going to scrap the production of this video and let it rest, but then I came across this article about the French gaming authority ANJ that questioned the amount of betting adverts shown by the license operators, saying they were crossing the line. The article states that the ANJ was forced to draw a yellow card on marketing communications that target young adults and fuel the easy illusion of winning money as particularly problematic. The power advertising has on us on a day-to-day basis must not be underestimated, which is why I decided to continue on with this project. BritBox is probably best described as UK's own Netflix company created by the BBC and ITV, two of the biggest UK broadcasters. Spitting Image is a satirical puppet show that first appeared on TVs in 1984 on ITV. It was one of the most watched shows of the 80s with an audience of 15 million people. In 1996, the series was cancelled due to falling figures. The revived series, however, debuted on the 3rd of October 2020 on BritBox, featuring figures like Boris Johnson and Donald Trump. BritBox itself was launched in March 2017, so it's relatively young, and if I'm honest, I wasn't really aware of it as of recent. My family and I do not typically watch television other than Netflix, so we are generally spared from annoying adverts. However, there was no way around that in our case if we wanted to watch the football games, and I was quite horrified when I first saw the BritBox advert for the first time. Here, have a look for yourself.
We can put aside our differences to enjoy a friendly football game.
Yes, we Europeans are so utterly civilized.
What will vaccine do, dog?
Before I say anything else, I want to reiterate this is my opinion on the advert, and whilst it may not be a very popular one amongst the British audience, I feel I need to raise the issue and open it up for discussion. Otherwise, nothing will ever change. Also, I'm not perfect, and I get things wrong. Maybe I'm just oversensitive because of the discrimination that my family and I have received for the immigrants that we are. For years, my eldest daughter was also racially abused. Most recently after England was defeated by Italy in the finals. Throughout the tournament we have seen some abysmal behavior by some England fans, and by that I'm not saying that fans of other nations are angels. Booing the knee, booing national anthems, disgusting social media posts, hitting out at the crying German girl, calling her unimaginable names, us receiving messages to go back home to our country, and the list goes on. It is because of the preceding reputation of England fans that stood true with some appalling behavior that was witnessed around the world that this image was trending on Twitter during the game against Denmark. Even though this may just be a minority group, coming in contact with discrimination and racial abuse is hurtful. As a European national, I was highly offended by the BritBox advert, and recent events have made it evident that England seems to be a country full of division, which is why above all I find the BritBox advert to have been a poor choice to be shown throughout the tournament, which has led me to write to BritBox and ask if they feel a sense of responsibility for the violence seen throughout the tournament. To my surprise, they responded within 1 hour.
Hello Thor, thanks for contacting BritBox regarding your concerns over an advert BritBox showed during the Euros 2020. We are so very sorry to hear that your family, including your daughter, faced such despicable abuse. We're also very upset by certain fans' actions, and we are sorry that you feel offended by the ad. We're just as shocked and appalled by the behavior of some people following the events of the 2020 Euros tournament. However, the whole point of Spitting Image is comedic satire, specifically aimed at celebrities and political leaders, no matter who they might be. I hope this goes some way to assure you we are not being discriminatory, rather this is equal opportunity satire.
Look, I am someone who can take a joke, and I'm even able to laugh about myself. I tell terrible dad jokes and oftentimes don't take things too seriously, but I believe that this advert took satire a step too far, and this is why. In a country that is already so divided, not only in the United Kingdom itself, but also within Europe after Brexit, with campaigns filled with misinformation making the EU look like the devil, which gave some Brits the feeling they could do or say what they wanted. After all, they got their country back, right? In one instance, my wife was told she would be taken out on a boat and thrown overboard without a life jacket, as a means to deport her. My wife isn't even European. My point is that this BritBox advert is putting fuel on an already ignited fire, literally showing that bottling people is perfectly acceptable, which I feel is even more encouraged through the singing of
What will vaccine do, doll?
Any teenager will be familiar with the melody and what the song is meant to do. And it did exactly that. It really pissed me off. What I find very concerning is that children, including my 5-year-old, will have seen this advert. The biggest controversy of this whole thing is this: all players have respect printed on their shirts, take the need to promote equality and stop racism, while the advert portrays the exact opposite for young and old to see. So what is it? Should we respect or fight each other? I don't think that the message could be more conflicting. I'm not claiming to be perfect, but I'm trying to raise my children with a certain moral value of respect and love for others. My question is, if we continue showing and exposing our children to this hate and discrimination against each other, immigrants and neighboring countrymen, how will their mentality ever be able to change? Especially if their parents might still have a negative sentiment towards non-natives. Maybe this will only apply to a minority group. However, we have seen how much shame and damage this minority group can cause, haven't we? If we are serious about wanting to stop discrimination and racism, a line has to be drawn, and this line cannot consist of more rules and laws of what we can or cannot say. It is unfortunate enough that these need to be in place. Instead, I feel we must focus more on positive reinforcement. Maybe it was a good thing for shows like Spitting Image to be shut down. Maybe someone can come up with a better idea. I don't know. But it is my opinion that BritBox, the BBC and ITV overstepped by showing the level of violence and discrimination through the advert throughout the whole of the tournament that demands respect, not hate. The advert targets a very narrow British audience in a very broad and multicultural country. I don't expect you to agree, but it was important for me to express how I felt about this, and if you feel inclined to leave a comment, I will be looking forward to reading them. Thank you.